Tonight, you saw the Atlanta Hawks go up by as many as 20 plus points versus the Denver Nuggets, who have a very good record on the road. And the Atlanta Hawks were definitely in a strong position to win the game, but somehow fell to the Denver Nuggets 133 to 134. And I'm telling you right now, this has Hawks fans very concerned, because the Atlanta Hawks definitely had control of the first half. They had control of the game in the first half. They had extended an extremely good lead versus the Denver Nuggets. They were making their shots. The Hawks were in control in the first half. But for some reason, after that half, there is something that was said in the locker room with the Denver Nuggets, and something happened to where they came back, and Nikola Jokic did what Nikola Jokic does. He scored, I think it was about, 39 points in the second half. 29 points in the second half. He ended up coming up with 40 points on the game. The Atlanta Hawks had everything in their hand, but somehow let tonight's game versus the Denver Nuggets slip. But that's just wanted to come to you guys and talk to you about that, because this was just a tough loss by the Atlanta Hawks. And again, this has a lot of Hawks fans very concerned. But before we go any further, let me go ahead and welcome in the show. What's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest. And of course, I am here to just dive into the game that we just had tonight. Of course, just coming to you guys talking about the game we just had versus the Denver Nuggets. And I mind you, this was a game where the Atlanta Hawks was going up against a team that were looked at as road warriors. You dig what I'm saying? They were looked at as a team that they took care of business on the road, okay? They just got off of a big win in Indiana the night before. I want to say they had up to about 9 wins on the road so far this season. This team has done a very good job on the road. I mean, listening to the game and watching the game, the announcers definitely spoke well of the Denver Nuggets, just speaking in regards to how they play. Jamal Murray just had 59 points in the game before this one. So again, these Denver Nuggets, not only were they on a East Coast road trip, but also they are road warriors, and they did a very good job. But for some reason, things didn't necessarily go as planned by the Atlanta Hawks. Again, losing 133 to 134. And even down to crunch time, things just somehow just did not go as planned for the Atlanta Hawks. Let me go ahead and just jump right into it. Thank you to the 2,902 subscribers. Thank you to the new subscribers that have joined the channel. Welcome to Atlanta Hawks Digest. Myself, Chris Tip Moore. We do our very best to give you guys some quality content, giving you guys content that you all need, you're looking for. We talk about Atlanta Hawks news, sports. Well, of course, this is a sport, but news, updates, changes, trades, anything that you want to know about the Atlanta Hawks, this is the place to get it. Definitely check in with myself, Chris Tip Moore, and everybody here at Digest Media. We do appreciate you guys. And to the 60% of you all that are not subscribed, we know that you guys are seeing this. We know that more of you are watching, because the not subscribed people that are watching, we see. But definitely, the more that you do see this, the more that this comes up on your timeline. Please hit the subscribe button. You dig what I'm saying? And hit the like and share. Send it to somebody else. And if you have something to say, if you feel like you need to say something, leave a comment down below. All right. And also too, just to, my Hawks fans, let me know how you guys feel about tonight's game, because again, very tough to see the Atlanta Hawks do. In my opinion, they had a really good game. They had a good game. They played very well, made their shots. I mean, they were 20 for 46 from three-point land, 43% from the three-point line. That is a very good job of shooting the ball, okay? I have to point out when the Atlanta Hawks are doing a good job. Multiple guys in double figures. I think about 5 guys in double figures. Kristaps Porzingis coming off of the bench with 25 points. 9 for 13 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. A good job after coming back from illness. I don't want to say injury, but illness. But coming back, he's coming off of the bench, coming from behind Onyeka Okongwu. He had 13 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 6 from three-point land. He's been doing a very good job this season so far, shooting from three-point land. Again, very good job from this young man. Again, Jalen Johnson, again, also 9 for 20 from the field, 1 for 4 from three-point line. But he had a triple-double in the first half. Okay? Get this, 18 rebounds, 16 assists, 21 points. And he got all of that in the first half. That is something that you want to point out. These Atlanta Hawks were doing their job tonight, okay? But for some reason, they just weren't able to stop Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets from doing what they do. They were able to get back from the half. They were able to clinch in on their defensive efforts versus the Atlanta Hawks. They were able to focus in on their defensive efforts versus the Atlanta Hawks. And they limited the shots from the Hawks as time went on. And actually, to correct myself, it wasn't 5 guys in double figures. It was actually 6, because V. Krejci came up with about 15 points, 5 for 8 from the field, 5 for 8 from three-point land. So most of his shots were threes for the evening to round out what he had: 2 rebounds, 2 assists. But he 15 points, 5 for 8 from the three-point land. Dyson Daniels also 15 points, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, 7 for 14 from the field. But the high man of the night, of course, was Nickeil Alexander-Walker with 30 points, 10 for 17, 5 for 9 from three-point line, 10 for 17 from the field, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Again, we were 94% from the free throw line, from the stripe. So, again, the Atlanta Hawks were doing their job. They were doing what they needed to do to win the game. But the second half was where things went left, I would say, with the Atlanta Hawks dealing with the Denver Nuggets. And I will say that this could be the case of not the Hawks beating themselves, but more so the Denver Nuggets finding a way to get the win versus the Atlanta Hawks. Because whenever the Denver Nuggets would make a run and pull away, the Hawks would be right there to get back into the swing of things in the fourth quarter. So just to give you guys insight on how things went, because what's so crazy was going into the fourth quarter, the Atlanta Hawks had a 103-92 point lead. 103-92. And this was going into the fourth quarter, but then somehow the Denver Nuggets went on a crazy 23-3 blitz. You know what I'm saying, on the Hawks. So just them going on that crazy scoring run versus the Hawks in the fourth quarter, led by none other than Nikola Jokic with 40 points. Jamal Murray also came up with about 23 points and 12 assists. They started to hit their threes towards the end of the game. Well, actually in the fourth quarter going into the end of the game. And again, the Atlanta Hawks still found a way to be in the thick of it towards the end. And I really wanted for these guys to win the game. Unfortunately, came down to about a chance for the Hawks to get a three-pointer, something that they could do to send the game into overtime. And unfortunately, because it was 131-134, they had a chance to send it into overtime, but Nickeil Alexander-Walker basically went down the field, down the lane, not the field, but down the lane, ended up making a layup for 2 when he could have made the three-point play. I think he thought that time was running out. I don't think he had a clear understanding of how much time was on the clock. Going into that. And again, this was just a situation where the Hawks had a strong chance to get a win at home, but they just could not do it. Right now, last 10 games, I want to say that the Hawks are 4-6 in the last 10 games. The Hawks now, they fall to 13-11 on the season so far. Again, this is not where the Hawks want to be right now. Mainly because, again, I understand that this was going to be a tough stretch. You dig what I'm saying? With these Atlanta Hawks losing to the Pistons, the Clippers, a close one to the Pistons, being blitzed and obliterated by the Clippers here at home, and then losing to the Nuggets, and then again on a back-to-back, they're going straight up back to Washington to take on the Wizards tomorrow at 7 p.m. This will be a chance for the Hawks to get some get back. Of course, they definitely had a really embarrassing loss to the Wizards in the Emirates Cup, or the Emirates NBA Cup. You dig what I'm saying? And so this will be a chance for the Hawks to definitely get a good win versus them before they go on a 6-day break, if you will, because the next time they'll be playing will be in Detroit on the 12th of December. So this could be a good chance for the Hawks to get a break, get a breather, get some time to where they can regroup, because they're going to be taking on Detroit, and they're still going to have some games where things are going to get chippy versus some really tough opponents, really tough competition. You take on Detroit, and then 2 days later you take on the Philadelphia 76ers. After that, you do take on Charlotte, and then again back at home versus San Antonio, before you have the Bulls twice on the 21st and the 23rd here at home. So again, tonight was an opportunity for the Atlanta Hawks to definitely get a good win, definitely, get themselves back up in the standings. They fell from number 5 to number 8. You dig what I'm saying, in the standings, and that's just not where the Hawks want to be right now. Granted, it is still early in the season. It is still enough time for the Hawks to recorrect themselves, straighten up and fly right, as the older folks would say. So there is a chance that the Hawks can do that. This is not a post where it's all doom and gloom. Again, the Hawks played really good basketball, okay? Jalen Johnson, again, on a tear this season so far, getting a triple-double in the first half of basketball play. So, again, the Hawks did their job. Nickeil Alexander-Walker with 30 points on the game. The Hawks played good basketball. But unfortunately, taking on the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, you dig what I'm saying? It was almost like the perfect storm. And not only just that, but I mentioned earlier in the show that this team was they're road warriors. They've done very well on the road so far this season. I think 9 9-game winning streak on the road. So again, that's just what this is. It was a game of runs, 2 major runs, I will say. The first half definitely for the Hawks. Second half was definitely for the Denver Nuggets. Came down to the fourth quarter. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to say, but you tell me how you guys feel about tonight's loss, unfortunately, to the Denver Nuggets, and what do you think these Atlanta Hawks can do to get themselves back on the winning streak, get back on the winning ways, and hopefully get themselves in a position where they can be outside of the Hawks Invitational, a.k.a. the play-in tournament. You dig what I'm saying, later on this season. But besides all of that, my name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and I'm signing out. Peace.